Before we begin, we want to make it clear that the discussions and opinions shared in this podcast are based on personal experiences, publicly available information, and allegations that have been shared with us. All individuals mentioned are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only and should not be interpreted as legal or factual conclusions regarding any individual or situation. Welcome to the Closet Full of Cash podcast. My name is Deanna Thompson, your host, and I have Kira Barclay, my co-host. And
Hey, Deanna.
hey, good morning.
Good morning.
So why don't you give a wrap up as to the last podcast we did?
Yeah.
Because this will be part 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those of you that caught it, or if you haven't, you should go back and listen to part 1, Anatomy of a Scam. Last week, we really dug into this character by the name of Sammy the Stylist.
Sailor Musalam. Yeah.
Yep. And we did a really nice kind of overview of some of the issues that we have seen with Sammy over the years. And so at a high level, we've got someone in the industry who is selling real bags and selling fake bags all at the same time, all mixed together. And we really went into just kind of at a high level how he's been doing this over the years and some of the people that have been impacted. And so I'm excited on part 2 to really kind of dig into how this whole thing started in the first place. We'll start kind of dissecting this as we go through the different parts of the series, and I'm really excited about that. So, Deanna, tell me when you first ran into Sammy the Stylist, like how did we even get started with this?
Okay, so in the end of 2015, which seems so long ago, I started Closet Full of Cash, which I started because there was no real education out there around luxury resale. And there was nothing highlighting all these smaller companies that were super awesome, but didn't have like the marketing budget of a Fashion File or the Real Real. Mm-hmm. So I was blogging about the industry, and I was on vacation and I got a message on Instagram from a girl that was literally beside herself. She's starting a business, and she had purchased 3 Chanel necklaces off a seller on Instagram.
Okay.
And she found out that they were fake. Everything about them was fake. And she didn't know what to do because he was just being very obnoxious and harassing and bullying, and she was just trying to get her money back, like literally. Yeah. And this was the first post I ever put about anything. Let me preface by saying this: I know a lot of real big scumbags in this industry. It is not my place to tell other people's stories. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't call other people out because that's not who I am. I don't feel good about that I don't do this for clicks or likes or anything like that. This guy needs to shut his business down. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is the only person I will ever call out publicly because he has a pattern of abuse and scams that need to be shut down. So let me go back. She sent me pictures of the necklaces, and immediately I knew they were counterfeit because the engraving was horrible, but the misspellings, and you may have seen pictures of this in the video that Radio Canada CBC did that you can find on YouTube that is still up there.
Yeah.
Around this guy. So she had done everything she possibly could to get the money back, wanted a refund. The authentication certificates he sent with them were counterfeit. They were forged. And this is a pattern with him. But she was just beside herself. Like, I ended up pulling over and talking to her on the phone, and she's sobbing. And unfortunately, that has not been the only phone call I've taken like this over the years. There has been so many. I'm like, okay, well, the only way this guy is going to listen is if we put him on blast, So I wrote an article, a cautionary tale about shopping off of Instagram, to warn people, you don't just buy things because they look pretty, or the seller tells you what you want to hear, or becomes your best friend, or whatever. I didn't name him. I sent him an email explaining who I am,
Mm-hmm.
what I was doing. I was writing this article, and I believe I mentioned the Chanel necklaces. I still have a screenshot of it. But I asked him his side because I don't ever want to just, call out somebody without getting, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe he didn't know they were counterfeit.
Right.
This is what I was thinking at the time. So I want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I'm sorry, it makes me laugh. His response to me was so unhinged that I literally had to laugh. He has my IP address. He's got the best, trademark lawyers in Canada. Yes, he's from Canada. Just the threats that were going on and on. And these have been going on since. But I was like, okay, you're fucking nuts. And I'm going ahead with the story. I'm still not going to call you out by name because this is just the beginning. I didn't
Yeah.
know truly who he was. I'm like, all right, you're batshit crazy, but that's fine. I deal with you people all the time. So I post this story, and then she finally does get her money back. She did get the refund, but it had to be escalated to public shaming to get that. And this is what I know now, his MO. Now, mind you, this was when he had Snob Luxury. So 2016.
So
Before
we're
that,
more than 10 years ago. We've got more than 10 years of history on this guy.
oh, even more than that, because before that, he had a store called Remix. And if you just Google Remix Toronto, Sammy, and look at the Yelp reviews, you see that this is actually who this guy is. He's selling counterfeits. He's unhinged. He, embarrasses, harasses, bullies people. And these are just in the Yelp reviews. Okay. So this was before Snob Luxury even came around. What was
Mm-hmm.
funny is when I did post this and it got a little bit of traction, and mind you, this is 2016, all of a sudden I start getting all of these DMs from women who have bought bags from him. And we're not talking, $500. We're talking, a few $1,000s for a bag that they saved up for, that they wanted to mark an occasion with, you know? And
Mm.
if anybody is going to say, oh, you shouldn't be spending money on luxury bags, that's stupid, blah, 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 shut the fuck up. Okay. I've been in this industry for almost 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to buy a luxury bag, I should be able to buy it, trust that it's authentic, and it's nobody's business why or how it happens. Okay.
Exactly.
Just let everybody do what they want to do.
It's no
And
different than somebody being a car buff and wanting to buy a
or
classic
watches.
car or watches or yeah, everybody's got their thing.
Exactly. And for, some women and men, it's bags, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. Good on you. But these girls were coming out, and I cannot tell you how heavy it weighed on me that they were so afraid for their life, because he's like taking screenshots of where they work, their Instagram. Is this you? And literally, I have all the receipts, I have all the screenshots. I literally just showed Kira just what I have on my computer, in which, if he's listening, don't even get any ideas. These are on several USVs. There, it's not just in one place, but it's a pattern. It's who he is. He'll sell a bag, he will forge authentication certificates. He's done it with Authenticate First, he's done it with Entropy, he's done it with Real Authentication. And it's when you get the bag and you realize something's off, and then you go to get it authenticated and it comes back as a counterfeit. The normal thing to do is you reach out to the seller, you
Mm-hmm.
know, hey, I just found out that this is not authentic. I would like my money back. You either get ghosted or you get harassed and threatened. And this is what he does. And he's done it for well over 10 years. After trying to help these girls, because I was reaching out at the time, it got to the point where I had to block him, because he's
Mm-hmm.
just, it's the incessant harassment that
Mm-hmm.
kind of drives you insane. Some girls were lucky enough to get their money back. But again, he has them sign NDAs, which I do have copies of those, which are illegal when it's surrounded under a counterfeit good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, an NDA is not binding if it's, threatening your voice. If you've had an experience with, I mean, I'm not a lawyer, clearly, but but that's what he does. He gets you to
Yeah.
sign it, and that's the only way you get your money back. So I mean, I can't tell you how many victims, because they are victims, there
Mm-hmm.
are, and so many who haven't spoken up. And this isn't even about the counterfeit bags. It's people that have done business with him, or people that tried to do business with him, or he's reached out wanting to do business with a company. And it's just like, I've never met anybody like this. I've never heard, like, even, the documentaries I watch, I've never, ever met anybody so insecure and narcissistic that actually is continuing to run a business,
Yeah.
you know?
So we're talking, I mean, more than 10 years since you've been involved with
Yeah.
his victims
Yes.
and having them reach out to you looking for advice, looking for counsel. Why do you think that the behavior has been able to persist for so long? Like, why do
Because
you think the jig isn't up?
he threatens people. I don't know for a fact, but I'm going to guess, because I posted, and if you didn't listen to the first episode, please listen to it because I go more into detail.
Mhm.
I worked with Radio Canada, CBC, on an article about him, and I had posted it on my Instagram, and it got over 68,000 views. All my posts have been removed.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming he hired a company, spent a lot of money to get those removed. That's what he does.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, if you haven't done anything wrong, wouldn't you just come out and say, hey, this is what happened? Oh my God, it was a mistake. I made it right. But this is not who he is. He will, I mean, he does sell authentic. He does,
Hmm.
but he also sells counterfeit and makes it look like it's authentic. Like, I already know about all the outlet bags that he buys. He
Hmm.
buys one authentic, takes that receipt, and then puts that receipt, copies of the receipts with all the counterfeits. Okay.
Hmm.
So it's not just, oh, I sold a counterfeit, or oh, I'm selling a couple of counterfeits. It's the level of deception that he
Hmm.
goes to. And then God forbid you buy that counterfeit and then you try to get your money back. He is going to scare the living shit out of you until you drop it. Okay.
Hmm.
That's it. That's how he works. And this is, like you said, been going on over 10 years. Now, lest anybody think that I am full of shit, I will start posting on Closet Full of Cash all my receipts. So you make the judgment whether you want to do business with him. And I also know that if you're going to any pop-ups in, say, the Hamptons,
Hmm.
get everything authenticated. I don't care who you buy it from, get it authenticated. If you're there, you can send me a DM through Instagram at Closet Full of Cash, and I'll tell you whether you should buy it or not. I don't care if you do or not. I don't care what you're spending your money on, but I know that he's planning a bunch of pop-ups, and guarantee if you're looking at a Birkin, I wouldn't buy it. And do your homework with who he's doing the pop-ups with. I don't want to say any names. I know what he's doing. I know where he's doing it, and I know who he's doing it with. So all I'm saying is just be really careful and know who you're buying with. Always pay with the credit card too. And the second you buy something, and this is not even just with him, it's with anybody that you don't feel good about, well, you
Yep.
shouldn't buy it. Get it authenticated from a reputable company. Real authentication, authenticate first, legit mark, entropy. If it comes back unverified, reach out to the seller, absolutely have that conversation, let them do right, because not everybody's a scammer. Okay. And fakes do slip through even the best platforms. Okay. It's
Yep.
just part of doing business. But if they're going to threaten you or they're not going to work with you to get a refund, you file a chargeback immediately.
Yep. And that's a trick too if you're at a pop-up, if you're at a consignment shop and you're kind of out there looking for a piece and looking because we're all looking for deals, right?
Oh, God,
We all
yeah.
want to find a diamond in the rough. We want to find the deal. You guys,
Yeah.
there are authentication companies that will give you a 1 hour turnaround
Yeah.
from photos. And some of them are more a little bit more expensive, right? And a little bit harder with Hermes for sure.
Yeah.
But that's an investment worth making. If you're looking for a deal, a $50 authentication fee for a very high-end bag to get that answer in an hour before you even make the payment,
Yeah.
or to give yourself that kind of level of comfort, that's worth it. And if you're in an establishment or a pop-up where the owner is discouraging that, that should be a signal for you right there.
Well, the thing is these, I mean, luxury handbags are not cheap. So
Mm-mm.
if you meet someone that is selling, or, trust your gut.
Yep.
That's it. Okay. Because your gut's never, ever going to do you wrong, ever.
Yeah.
So you got to be really, really careful there. Um, Back to Salem, Salem Musalam, Sammy the stylist, whatever he wants to go by.
Mm-hmm.
He has never reached out to me. I mean, he has, like, even this last round, last month, he
Mm-hmm.
sent me a DM and just said Deanna, nothing else. But I already know what it's going to be. So I don't respond, but he's not blocked anywhere.
Hmm.
He has my phone number, he has my email. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. But there's nothing. How do you talk to someone like that? How do you have a conversation that is just 100% fraud?
Yeah. It's kind of like putting your hand in a meat grinder. You know what you're going to get.
That's the perfect way to do it. So, what I think I would like to do is I'm having conversations with a few people that have had horrible experiences with him.
Yeah.
So, I want to bring them on the podcast because I don't want it just to be me,
Mm-hmm.
crashing out on this guy, but it's if somebody tries to warn you about someone, like you really shouldn't do business with this person, but yet
Mm-hmm.
every time you try to warn something, like you put something out there and it gets taken down, that's kind of like, how do we actually tell the public, stop doing business with this guy? Like
Yeah.
there's nothing good that's going to come out of this, because trust me when I say the second you do something wrong, you thought he was your best friend, he's going to turn on you and then he's going to send you over the edge. Like I
Yeah.
know, I've seen it, I've heard it.
Yeah. And this isn't this whole, segment of our Closet Full of Cash podcast is not about just going on a witch hunt, right? It's
No.
really the whole purpose is about protecting the industry and
Yes.
protecting all of our listeners as buyers, right? That's
Yeah.
what we're trying to do is just bring awareness and help everyone find the right tools, tricks, protect themselves, and figure out how to be safe in this industry. It's an industry we both love, and people like Sammy the stylist jeopardize the industry and people's willingness to
Absolutely.
play in it. So that's why we care.
And here's a list, because I am who I am. Here's a list of companies that he is under or works under. It's Carte Blanche Shop, and then Boutique Trésor. He can lie and say whatever he wants, but that's also his company, because I
Okay.
know it, because I have the screenshots of when it was on eBay under Carte Blanche, and then he changed the name to Boutique Trésor. House of Brand, Remix, Snob Luxury, those are old. Heroin Studios Canada, or just Heroin Studios. Do not trust any authentication certificate from Vault Concept or Archive Authentications. Both of those are his, and they're not worth the paper that they're printed on.
Okay.
And look, if this, like I said, I know and I'm aware of a lot of people that sell counterfeits. Look, you want to buy dupes, buy dupes. I don't care. But when you're taking your hard-earned money, expecting to spend it and buy like your dream bag or just a bag that is supposed to be authentic, but
Mm-hmm.
the seller fully knows that it's fake. And he's that's the bullshit that gets me. He knows it's counterfeit. He's passing it off as authentic. And it's not just about the bags. Okay. It's it's everything else. Like even his styling, which is insane. Like I've never seen anybody, I don't know how what the terminology is for someone that posts someone else's work and tries to align themselves like, oh my God, this person did this, and they tag them like they had a part of it, like they're not a cloud chaser, but I don't know what you call that. But that's how he's trying to build his styling business. And reach out to anybody he's tried to style. Like the horror stories there. Like this series will go on, and I like, trust me, next episode we're going to drill down on a case by case, like this is what happened, these
Yeah.
are the receipts, and this is what you got to watch out for, because I don't know of anybody else that needs to be shut down more than this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be I think everyone will learn a lot from digging into the specific cases and yeah, just this context that this has been going on for more than 10 years. This isn't something that just started.
No.
It's been going on for a long period of time and Deanna, you've kind of been right in the thick of it since the beginning just because you put yourself in a place in this industry to receive that information, right? You're
Yeah,
open to receiving that information, you're open to helping people. Um,
absolutely.
this has been a great kind of recap and going back into the history and kind of how it all started. What can we expect on the next episode?
I think I'm going to drill down. um okay, if you I showed you how much information I have. So I think it's
Yeah.
just starting, because I want to show how he works. What,
Yeah. Pick one.
yeah,
Pick one and dig
exactly.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, dig
Yeah.
into the nitty gritty, to the fine
Yeah.
details. And
Yeah.
again, it's not like I have a hard on for this guy, but somebody's got to speak up to make sure nobody gets scammed by him again, because
Yep.
he's very shifty. I mean, he clearly has the money to get things shut down. If my
Mm.
posts were removed, the nice thing is I own Closet Full of Cash and he can't
Yeah.
do shit about that. So that's where I'm going to put everything on the podcast and on the blog. So if you have had a, you know, bad experience with him, if you would like to tell your story and come on the podcast, we would love to have you. If
Yes.
you don't want to come on the podcast, but you want to share, we are more than happy to read your experience. I mean, privacy, again, and keeping you protected is the most important thing. So we will never share names or anything like that unless you're open to it. Reach out to me at info@closetfulofcash.com and we'll get you on so you can tell your story.
Amazing. Well, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks, Deanna, for the recap and kind of taking us back in time. And we will see you all on episode 3 of Anatomy of a Scam.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Closet Full of Cash podcast. If you found this helpful, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone you know. Got a question or a topic you want covered? Send us an email at info@closetfulofcash.com. We read every single submission. See you next episode.